So, Kate, do you want to talk very quickly, without giving away too many secrets? What are the different sort of ancestral issues we're going to work through over the period of weeks? And just incidentally, I'm going to put the details in the description below so you can come and read about it properly and really think it out. But, Katie, could you go through?
Mm. Yeah, as I said, I work intuitively, and as we'll be working over 9 months, I know that there'll be things coming up as we go, that will add into my initial idea and plan about it. But the main things to begin with is this iniquity, and this is what is downloaded into us when at conception. So if you think of the umbilical cord, it's connecting us from our belly button to our mum. This is like a hard drive that gets downloaded into with all the information of the ancestors. And again, what we might think of as gifts or curses. So say, yeah, we have information in the bloodline, which is psychic abilities or working with aromatherapy or knowledge of the sea, or it could be anything. This is going to come to us. But also if we've got ancestors who have been involved in maybe secret societies or black magic, or even what they might have thought of as white magic, but maybe things got distorted. And if these like a common one is where people make a covenant to gain power, and they give permission for their bloodline to be used, and especially if the bloodline is a very sacred one. And I'm guessing people listening to this that you're part of these bloodlines because you wouldn't find me otherwise. And so we hold the original information, and of course this is very sought after. So where covenants have been made that we because also we kind of can be our ancestors as well, because often in these kind of bloodlines we come back again and again and again, and this can be sometimes as a way of wanting to bring healing to the bloodline, because maybe we've realized that something we've done has had a negative effect. But also it can be ancestors who want to keep the power, and so they want to keep coming back and continuing with an agenda that they might have. So this can mean that the women in the family, that their wombs have been given for hire, you could put it that way, that certain entities or certain spirits have been allowed to be born through the wombs in the bloodline. And I know this might sound quite strange to say all of this, but I've found it again and again. So so it can be from different angles, but I guess as a sort of base is that, yeah, contracts that ancestors have made to gain power, but by doing that they've actually given the power away of the family line. And of course anybody from before and after has been affected by that. And we want to find how you can reclaim every part of yourself, and also not have to be the healer for everybody in the bloodline, because of course sensitive empathic beings have taken on these responsibilities to be the savior for their family or for the collective, and actually we don't need to do that. It's really about coming back to ourselves. So something around this.
I think also this onus. I have felt this onus in the past that I have to be here to do this thing, and who else is going to do that? And I think that you're quite right that to a certain extent that's quite grandiose, and it's actually not real in this lifetime. But we're remembering something that perhaps we promised to do in a former lifetime, and freeing myself from that was really powerful, because I was getting myself ill by just working so hard to try and sort of uncover all the B stuff, and to actually realize this isn't all on your shoulders, because you do feel it, I think, if you're not careful.
Yeah, and as soon as any wounded ancestors who have passed on, and they get the vibe that somebody's there processing and taking responsibility, of course they're going to kind of push more onto you, and then more and more are going to come. So I feel that it's really important that everybody takes responsibility for themselves, and this lightens the bloodline automatically, and it means that those souls can also move on in a more healthy way and more on to what their real and true soul path is. And we can also do the same. And life becomes so much easier because we're not taking on board everybody else's crap. We have enough crap of our own to look at, and it takes enough time to do the work for this. So we don't need to do it for everyone else.